Rock and roll, man. Hello and welcome to an exclusive narration presentation. My name is Lee Hall and I'm an indie author from the UK. This narration is in celebration of my guidebook, Consistent Creative Content, being published for a year. Now, writing a guidebook is not something that I ever thought or imagined I'd ever have to do or be able to do. And over many years of sharing my methods, my results on social media, it started gathering positive results and people started embracing and enjoying the stuff I was sharing. And that really led to the inspiration that I needed to lay down everything I'd learned. And this author, blogger, social media journey is a constant learning exercise. And basically, I realized that I still have a long way to go, and I still have a lot to learn. But I've learned a lot more, and I know a lot more than, say, someone who's just starting this journey. And that's really who this book is aimed for, as well as being aimed for anyone else on any stage of their writing journey, just looking for some reassurance that they're perhaps on the right path. I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank all of those who have supported this book, who have read it, bought it, reviewed it, and hopefully got something out of it. Now, these two sections basically mean the most to me. The first one is the introduction, and the next one is about finding my own writing destiny. Shall we dive in? Introduction. This book explores what I've learned on my publishing journey, presenting it in a way that I hope will inspire you to believe in your own abilities to replicate and even surpass my success. Belief is all you really need on any journey, and if I can get results that I'm happy with, then you certainly can. Success is based upon how you judge the results of something over time. It's both fickle and in the eyes of the beholder. I've always measured my results beside the number from where I started, absolute zero. And compared to zero, my numbers today appear to be quite impressive. But the truth is, they haven't always been like that. I spent most of my time nearer to zero than any other number, and that's something everyone must be prepared to face. Some call low numbers failure, but to me there are no failures in life, just lessons and opportunity. Both go hand in hand when it comes to writing. The most important thing in writing is to start, even if it is at zero. This guide can be defined as a series of experiences from the many years I've spent as both a blogger and an author in the social media age. Much of the content might seem obvious, but there is also some advice that I've never shared before. My hope is to help you progress in the world of authoring and blogging. Even if you just take one sentence of advice from all of this, to me, that'll be a good job done. Like I said, this may just be in the eye of the beholder, you, and you alone can go as far as the imagination will allow. Before we go any further, I will tell you now that this book is for anyone looking for advice and inspiration in blogging and book writing. You could already have an established blog or backlist of books written and published. You might even be pondering your very first foray into the world of words. Everyone is welcome here, and you'll find something no matter where you're starting from. Much of it is delivered from a perspective of a beginner, with some of the advanced stuff being advice I follow every day. For me, writing books and blogging go hand in hand, and while they are both explored in detail, you won't find any information on how to specifically write and format a book or construct a blog site. I am not qualified to show you the latter, and the former, well, nobody could formally teach you how to write a book, in my opinion. It is my belief that the journey of writing and finishing a book is something only the individual can find within themselves. Instead, we will explore how to market yourself as a creator on social media through all the various channels I have experienced. At times, it will mainly be blog-centric, but there are some in-depth marketing resources for authors as well. Many of the chapters ahead are interwoven with blogging and authoring advice because to me they go hand in hand. I have started in this manner for two reasons. So anyone can see from previewing the first pages if it could be of help to them, and to be upfront about what success I've had in blogging. See the graph below. This graph shows my blog viewing numbers over many months from September 2018 to recent times. As you can see, they gradually and progressively improved over time, forming into a wave, which will be explored further ahead. The blogging element of this book will focus on how I got to those numbers and how I took the opportunity to continually improve them. The graph stands as proof that everything you write gets results to some extent, and those results echo the message that everything else in this book will take time and that there are no quick fixes. I say results because for me these things worked. There is no guarantee that they will work for you. I'm in the inspiration business, not the miracle business. But every wordsmith faces different circumstances, and so I have concluded that, across the board, you need 3 core attributes to have any chance of success in blogging and authoring. You need to be consistent, you need to be creative, and you need content. This trio is the main reason why my blogging and authoring endeavors have been successful. Because I hold these attributes in such high regard, I even included them in the title of this book. In some applications, you'll only need one of the trio, in others two, and there are a few more vital attributes outside the trio that I will point out along the way. Some until now were my best kept secrets, while others appear obvious. All in all, this guide is laced with ideas that will help you improve your authoring and blogging to achieve greater success. Many of the sections will even begin with snippets of advice from the various authors, bloggers, creators, and friends I've connected with over the years, all of whom have found success in their own ways. Apart from blog views or book sales, what else counts as success? Follow my words and I will show you. Remember, you can do what I've done and go even further. So now we are going to skip forward to page number 47. If you're reading the paperback, it'll be a similar page in the digital version. In the book marketing basics, a memoir and roadmap. Now, for some context, what I'm about to read to you is about writing more books to find success, and authors who have a back catalogue tend to sell more books. So that's the context for this next section. A memoir of writing destiny. This concept is indeed no revelation, but it is worth exploring further. Many of you can relate when it comes to your favourite author. Let's go back to 2005 when I was 16 years old and stood without a clue about the real world or who I really wanted to be. The dream of being a writer was still forming within, and back then the prospect of being anything and nothing all at once fed the imagination of the dreamer in me. Living near Heathrow Airport and having grown up against the backdrop of planes constantly taking off over fields opposite my home, it seemed that I was destined to eventually find a job there. That first job of cleaning those same airplanes didn't last anywhere near as long as the influence from what I found during one fateful shift. It happened to be a partly weathered book, and just then I didn't realize it would be my destiny. This disheveled text was just sitting there, abandoned and headed for the trash. Even back then, I knew you should never throw away a book, but anything other than in-flight magazines and pillows were deemed trash by the cleaning company. I took exception to that rule and kept this book, known as Timeline, written by the well-known author Michael Crichton. I devoured that book from cover to cover in less than a week. The story whisked me away to medieval France by the vessel of realistic time travel through the science of quantum mechanics. This part history, part rescue action tale engrossed me. The reading experience still stands as one of my most immersive. This was my fiction awakening, and it brought a desire to explore more of Crichton's books. Today on my shelves there are more of his books than any other author. Why? Because as soon as I got done reading Timeline, I bought another title by him because they were available. And that next reading experience hooked me in even further. Then I bought another and another until his words began to inspire my own journey in writing. That journey was partly possible because of Crichton's backlist. Some years later, I learned of his passing, which carried the final, sad feeling that I would never be able to thank him for those stories and for inadvertently handing me my own destiny. Of course, the person who left that book behind also takes some responsibility. Whoever you are, thank you. Destiny can fall into our hands during the most unexpected of moments. The inspiration Crichton had on my work will never be known to him. If you ever have an opportunity to thank an artist for their influence on you, then do it. This will mean probably more than anything to them. The lesson? Having a backlist will increase your chances of sales, and it is imperative you work towards releasing more books on a consistent basis. As an author, I am always planning or looking towards a new project on the horizon. If you were to ask me what I planned on writing next, I could give you at least 3 different projects. I am either editing, drafting, or preparing a project for release. And if someone takes an interest in your work and does ask you what's next, it sounds like you know what you're doing. More importantly, and to me, I write because I love it. Some moments in life are just destiny, and finding a book galvanized mine. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank you for listening to this special narration presentation of Consistent Creative Content. Consistent Creative Content is currently available on Amazon in both digital and paperback formats. Peace out. Thank you for listening. Rock and roll, man.